Hello, boys, girls, and fellow intellectuals. This is Reason, that voice in your head you should listen to. And today I have with me my collab partner, Mr. K.
Don't get me wrong, I love abduction roleplay, but I'm usually topping and it's usually consensual. What? Hey, wait, where are my two little bitches?
Oh, you mean these? I thought they were rabid chihuahuas. The smaller one tried to hump my leg.
Bitches, chihuahuas, semantics. And you're lucky the biker didn't try to fuck you in the ass.
Okay, call me a bitch again, and it'll be your ass instead of Allister's. Hey, let us out! Whoever did this is so a fascist.
Yeah, I'm sure that hurts his feelings, Allister. No, you could have just asked if you wanted a collab. I mean, I'm starved for subscribers right now.
I know. I just thought you might appreciate the irony.
Oh, that's very Bond villain of you. I guess I'm a hot commodity. First Connor's Conquest, now I'm getting drafted by ANCAPs. So what am I in for? Am I not ANCAP enough for the ANCAP Club?
Well, this could be your first lesson. We have a monarchist who thinks he can disprove the feasibility of Anarcho Capitalism in 3 minutes. Boy, this'll be a hoot.
Salve omnibus.
What the fuck did he say?
I could Google search it if I had my hands free.
No matter. I'm sure he just spurted for a second.
So what to me is most objectionable about anarcho-capitalism? Well, let me just ask the ANCAPs a simple question.
Oh, looks like you're getting an easy lesson today, Kay.
Well, debating socialists is usually pretty easy, but let's see how I cope under pressure, I guess.
How is anarcho-capitalism supposed to address individuals in society who cannot defend themselves and are dependent on others? Now, I'm specifically talking about the poor, the disabled, the elderly, and children, especially children. Two similarities among these groups is that 1, they're incapable of realistically defending themselves and their property, and 2, they're all dependent on other people for support.
So what you're saying is if you saw a person of these groups being abused, you wouldn't step in? I know I would. But you need the police to come and save them because you don't want to.
And Fritz's answer to all this is massive big brother government there to wipe your ass because you can't possibly do it for yourself. Damn Germans.
Now, to address the first point, a child, and so there's no exceptions. Let's say a 3-year-old child is completely incapable of defending themselves against somebody who would abuse or exploit them. And this is generally similar for the other groups as well.
A 3-year-old child? The concept of parents completely eludes this guy. You don't think parents ever take care of their kids? Sounds like classic Marxist default mindset.
He seems to be appealing a bit to emotion, but I'm sure we can answer this with these. Most issues brought up against anarcho-capitalism are as basic as roads.
They are incapable of defending themselves, and we cannot realistically expect them, or would ever want them, to have to defend themselves.
And so we come to the whole of this analogy. You want to go first, Kay? Or should I?
There's these things called parents. Maybe he's heard of them. Maybe he had a couple of them at some point.
Maybe he's talking about orphans. Or homeless children, or homeless families.
Come on, Mr. K, our freedom depends on you!
Shut up, you little twats! Ugh, those chipmunk voices are wearing on me. Well, before the massive overarching government of today, orphanages and the like were locally funded either through taxes or donations. As for children of homeless parents, there's plenty of jobs available and plenty of programs to help find said jobs. And there'd be even more job opportunities available in a freer system.
And even if we don't have taxes, there are many charities today that support these groups. You act as if that would all disappear in an ANCAP society, which is a bit fallacious.
To address the second point, all these groups are dependent on others. Children are dependent on their parents, the poor and disabled on various organizations and individuals.
Oh, there's a novel idea. Keep throwing money at the poor. Oh, how will the poor survive without their precious free money?
Kay has a point. How do you expect someone to have the drive to get out of poverty if they can just sit on their ass and collect a check each month? Seems like you're rewarding them for staying poor.
The elderly are on either a nursing or assisted living home or their family.
What? Have old folks' homes ever been on government assistance?
So why am I stating this? Because the idea of the non-aggression principle immediately falls apart when you realize that people are not equal and that the NAP only seems to function because it assumes that everyone has an equal ability to defend themselves.
I just realized something. You don't know the first thing about the NAP. You act as if no one is allowed to step in, when in reality, they have the right And in the case of someone who can't, an obligation. To allow harm to someone else is the same as doing it yourself in the case that that person can't defend themselves.
Speaking of Nap, if anyone is watching this, I've been kidnapped, help!
Don't worry, people. You know he likes it.
This is fundamentally important because in the absence of law, the ANCAPs expect us to individually defend ourselves and property.
Dude, fuck this guy. Under capitalism, no one has the right to take your shit no matter how rich they are.
Right. Individually. That's why we advocate private security, private military, and the right to own military-grade weapons. It's really easy to lie when you don't do research. Literally, you're reaching so far it's amazing your arm hasn't detached from your shoulder.
I know I want to own military-grade weapons, if nothing else for keeping guys like this from kidnapping me.
Hey, did you just assume that demon's gender? Allister, I will make you dislike play rape if you don't shut up.
Wait, wouldn't that just be rape then? Also, I'm not a demon. Did you just assume my species?
Haha, you're a species phobe. Pile on the shame.
And with the above groups, this system is simply incapable of protecting major segments of society. And the fact is, people do not live in solitude. We depend on other people, and they depend on us.
That's more of an individual issue. There are people who live independently from others, and some who live in communities. Basic knowledge debunks that claim.
This also reeks of safe space bitch talk.
And we depend on a system of law to ensure that the members of society who will not respect others' rights are deterred and punished. So please explain to me how anarcho capitalism is supposed to protect children from being abused.
Let me give you a hypothetical situation in an ANCAP society. You find out that your neighbor abuses his kid, and you want to help the kid get somewhere safe. It's as simple as you go get your gun, walk over, and remove the child from said environment, and use whatever necessary force is required to do so. Same as you would if you saw a baby in a locked hot car.
Will the abuse of the poor, elderly, children, and disabled increase or decrease if you remove the legal repercussions?
I bet this phrase has escaped this guy's lips at some point. How did we live before government? This guy thinks without government micromanaging every facet of our lives, we just eat each other.
I like the sound of that.
Shut up, Bruce. Now's not the time to flag for your cannibalism fetish.
I would prefer to not have to melt down that cage after this. But anyways, I think this guy hasn't done any research before he had started recording this video.
Well, with children, as we can see with Rotherham, when you don't apply the law, this is the result. So again, how is this supposed to benefit children and other dependent elements of society?
Oh, I just love how you leave no citations.
Well, libtards and socialists are known for basing everything off their fifis.
But as for the other groups mentioned, charities would be able to help the poor get back up on their feet, and for the elderly, most don't live in subsidized assisted living. Only about 5% live in assisted living currently, and even if they couldn't afford to pay, again, there's still a charity, and as for safety, I've already explained anyone can jump in and stop abuse.
Because to me, this ideology only seems to have single, healthy, young adults with money in mind.
Yeah, I mean, does this guy think we're just a bunch of animals that don't take care of each other and we need to have the government there to make sure we do?
I don't know, but he obviously doesn't know much about anarcho capitalism. This is probably the worst argument against it I've ever heard, and that's saying something.
But even then, if you abolish the state, you're going to be screwed as well, because the power vacuum will be filled by the person with the biggest army and the most money, and do you think he gives a fuck about the NAP?
This guy knows anything about private contractors, it's what he's read in propaganda books about them being mercs. Truth is, they're mostly former elite soldiers in all branches of the military, and are just as willing to die for the homeland as any soldier.
Not only that, but in an ANCAP society, everyone has access to military-grade weapons. So if you intend to dominate the now ANCAP US, you may have to deal with a much larger force than your own, along with private military and security. Basically, you're fucked if you try.
And the rest of the video is him singing in commie language.
Well, that's the end of this shit excuse for debunking anarcho-capitalism. I hope you all enjoyed this collab with me and Mr. K. I'll leave a link to his channel and social media along with everything else down in the description. What the hell are you doing? No!
Yeah, that was a fun collab. We'll have to do more of these in the future. Just one thing, I'm not really into switching. So next time I'll give you a first-hand lesson in Shibari. Oh, and to all my subs, be sure to check out and sub to Listen to Reason's YouTube channel. Do it, or I'll beat you with a wet towel.
You know, I kind of wish you'd let the demon fuck me before we escaped. Don't worry, little buddy. I'll gladly fill the void.
Aw, crap. Should have thought about his experience with bondage before using chains. Oh well, I'll get out of this in a few. If you all enjoyed the collab, please like and share, and if you haven't already, subscribe. That's all for this video, and remember, stay reasonable. And to you, Fritz, learn to do some fucking research.